Hey guys, Brandon here from A Plus Tree Service. Just trying to replace this pin on this grapple. This is the one that broke. This is the handle that screws into it. So instead of, just sending the whole handle, this part, and the pin, they just send you the pin. And let me tell you, getting the pin that holds this part onto this pin is brutal. They have these things, these little pieces right here, I don't know if you can see that, but smashed through there to hold it on. And as soon as I started pulling the one side out, it was already broken in there. So it's just a broken piece in there now. And it's stuck in there. I'm either gonna have to drill it out or I don't know. I have to figure out a way to get it out. Would have just been super nice. Like, I don't know, what is this, 30 cents of metal? They could have, just sent the whole handle assembly and just the broken part. I mean, I don't know. I asked for the full handle assembly. This is what I got. Now we got to sit here and deal with trying to fix this. I don't know. Kind of ridiculous. I like the Grapple, but I'm not really liking that company that much. I don't think I'll be buying anything else from that company just because, they have something like this that breaks, a couple months after you buy it, and then they charge you $50 US to ship a pin, and I wouldn't have even been mad about it if they would have at least sent me the full handle assembly and I could have just popped it in. Well, obviously it has to go up through the bottom like this first. So it goes up like that, and then you have to put this part on and wedge it on. Definitely doesn't seem fun. Yeah, so there's a spring in there, so when you do this, you're almost going to want an extra person helping you pushing that up, or jam something in there to have this pin stay exposed so that you can get this on there. But yeah, it just kind of drives me nuts that you spend money. I bought a plow there. I've also helped sell at least 2 of these grapples that I know of, and they can't even just send you the full handle assembly. Ridiculous. But anyways, guys, I just wanted to make a video talking about what I would, after 68 or 69 hours, whatever I got on this machine, what I would change and do differently on the V1000. And then I also wanted to talk about the company Pembelt Equipment, Scott. They've talked to me before. He reached out to me again, just letting me know that, after watching my videos and hearing, my opinion on what they charge and stuff like that for selling the exact same machine that we can buy from Alibaba. He decided to change their whole business basically. So now they're basically just like a safe haven of a place, for people that don't feel comfortable sending their money overseas or on Alibaba. They can go there. They can deal with Scott and his team. You can pay the money. They'll order it. They'll deal with all the customs, freight, duties. They'll deal with all that. It'll be included in the price. So you might be paying, an extra $4,000 for the machine once you get it, but you didn't have to do you don't have to do any of the behind the scene things that, guys like me or you, when you order from Dean, have to deal with. So it's kind of nice. At the time of before I ordered, it was super scary. So for someone that is not sure and they feel like their money's safer here ordering from a face-to-face person, I think it's a good business strategy, and I think they'll do a lot better that way. And we've just been kind of talking back and forth a little bit through email. He did mention that he watched my video yesterday, having this up against the Vermeer 925 TX, and he asked me if I'd be interested in. He said he would rent a Bobcat MT100. He'd order rent a Kubota. He'll rent basically all these other machines to try out, which would be super cool. So I emailed him back and let him know that I would definitely be interested if he wanted to come here. We can meet him in person. I've only talked to him on the phone and through email. But I would like to hear more about his business strategy and what he brings to the table to to help people, like me and you that are looking to make a big order, not a big order, but financially, $15,000, $20,000, that's a lot of money for most people. It's a lot of money for me. So I consider that a big purchase, and sending that money right overseas is a bit scary. So I would like to hear more about, what they're gonna do, and if there's any warranty or anything like that. I think the warranty would just be the same as ordering through Dean, but I'm assuming they would order the parts from Dean, and then you could just pick them up at the dealership. So I also talked to Scott about the XC1100 and told him that I really wanted to try that. He asked me, what I was thinking, if I wanted to have the machine, or if I'd be interested in like a couple month, free rental where, I can just demo it. So he'll bring it here, or I pick it up or whatever. I demo it against the V1000, make videos of it. And then he said if I'm happy with it, selling it to me at a discounted price. A discounted price of $0 would be awesome, Scott, just letting you know. But yeah, so there's a couple opportunities that are coming up, and I want to talk to Scott more about this, find out, where he wants to go. So yeah, basically I want to get on the phone with Scott, talk to him. My channel's not big, but I think he knows that, the following that I have are people that are really interested in equipment, people that are interested in machines like this. So, I might only have 1,300 subscribers, but I feel like, a good 90% of you guys are watching because you're interested in this. You're not just interested in looking at my ugly face. So yeah, guys, let me know if you guys think that would be interested, if you guys want to see this machine against other machines, and then obviously have it against the XC1100. If Scott's willing to, do stuff like this for me, and for us, for entertainment and, research purposes, I think that would be really cool. Getting his name out there a little bit more, it'll help him, it'll benefit me and him at the same time, and as well as you guys, so you guys can see, how the V1000 stacks up against all these other machines. And then once we get to see the XC1100, it would be nice testing that against the V1000, but also testing it against all the other big names, and see if it really is, the bigger, badder version of the V1000. So very interested to find out from Scott what he wants to do, and let me know if you guys are interested in that. I'm also dabbling on the idea of buying, and I've been speaking to a company on Alibaba. They seem really interested. They checked out my channel, and they're kind of wanting to work with me a little bit. So give me a deal on a mini excavator. It's a really nice looking excavator. I can, pop up a few pictures, but they also have the rotating bucket, or you can get a rotating grapple on the swing arm, which is awesome. And it's something that if I bought a mini excavator that I would really want, because with the grapple and stuff like that, it's just very convenient for, lot clears or just tree jobs in general. So yeah, guys, I just wanted to get into things that I would change. And obviously one of the most obvious things that I would change on the V1000 is this sight glass right here. My guys did break it the one time, and I feel like it's already kind of tweaked a little bit. That something hit here and it looks a little bit tweaked already again, and that's brand new. But the front of your machine, especially when you're working with trees and logs and brush and stuff like that, you're just bound to have something hit that. So for me, that is just in a terrible spot. I'm going to eventually build something over that, weld it over it, so I can still see the hydraulic fluid, but have it protected. Okay, ever since day one, I've really hated this throttle. I still hate it most of the time. It doesn't even want to stay up for me. It just goes down. So I have to play with it a bunch. The spinning doesn't even work on mine anymore. I do have a new throttle assembly. I do need to put it in, but this machine has 68 hours on it, and this throttle is terrible, where back and forth lever on the Vermeer was 200% better than this. So the next thing I would change is obviously the auxiliary, where you control it here. I mean, for a lot of things, this isn't going to be an issue. If you're using a forestry mulcher or something like that, you lock it in, you're good to go. But when you're using something like the log grapple, and you're closing and opening that grapple a lot, you got your hand here, you're constantly using one hand or the other to open or close your grapple. So I would love to see it somewhere right here, like where Cole's is, or on this handle, a button, two buttons would be, ideal and perfect. So another thing that I would change, and I didn't really realize until, I got on the Vermeer, was either slanting this hood a little bit more, because it really blocks your sight of view here. So you can see the end of my hood right there, but you cannot see the front of your machine at all. If I bring you up here, you probably start seeing it now. But yeah, where the front of the machine is and that hood, it's very deceiving when you're coming into logs or just working in general. You can't see the front of your machine, whereas on the Vermeer, you can see the front of your machine the whole time, and your visibility is just amazing. So obviously another thing that I've talked about in the past that I would like changed, and I think they have, is where you check the oil. I mean, like everybody said, it's not a big deal. You just pop off the side case and you reach in there. It's a little bit awkward to get your hand in there and stuff like that, but you can get access to it. Okay, another thing that I would like to see change, and I'm not sure if it has already, but yeah, the diesel, where the diesel is, and the hydraulic fluid, terrible. I really do like to see the diesel back here, but at the same time, when you put the diesel back here, I don't think you can have the vertical lift system. Apparently the XC1100 is not going to be vertical lift, but I believe the diesel will be on the back. I'm not sure about the hydraulics, but to me, I'd rather get rid of the vertical lift and not have my hydraulic fluid up here with the sight glass here and having my diesel tank here. On Cole's machine on the Vermeer, I think that his two diesel tanks on either side is the game changer of him being able to lift a little bit more than me, because the Derette actually didn't seem like it had any restriction on the hydraulics for lifting power, whereas the Vermeer did. The only problem with this one is it didn't have enough counterweight, and having 20 liters on each side of fuel plus your extra weights is going to be a game changer for that. So you'll be able to lift a lot more. So I'm going to try to show you how many hours I got on the machine. You got to start it. So here we go. So we got 67.4. 67.4 hours. And still very impressed with this machine. I love it. I think, to me, this machine is like really, really nice looking. Anybody that doesn't know that it's, from China, I think if they saw this machine beside the Vermeer, I think they would think that this machine is more expensive, in my opinion. I don't know how everybody else feels about that, but like this machine beside any skid steer on the market, I think looks like a very, very expensive machine. And, it's not. So yeah, guys, there you have it. There's not a whole lot that I would change on this machine. I like the controls. I like the setup here. Me and Cole were talking about that. I like this setup. I think the controls could be slanted a little bit more forward, like the Vermeer. These ones are just upright, whereas I think it's got more ergonomics if it had a slight lean forward, and then having that hood design changed so that you can see the front of your machine. Like I can start seeing the front of my machine right there. I'm fully up on my tippy toes, like barely you can't do it. I can see why people put step stools, or they build like the steps on the side here so that they can stand on that and see. But you shouldn't have to do that. You should be able to see your machine a little bit better. I don't have a problem with it really, but the problem comes when you get someone new on the machine, and then next thing you know, your sight glass is broken again. So that's all I'm saying with that. It doesn't bother me. Once you know the machine well enough, you know where the front of your machine is. You don't actually have to visually see it. So I just think if they did change that a little bit more, have more of an angle to the hood, or just have the bottom of the hood stick out a little bit further. You know what I mean? They didn't have to make it step down like that. So if they just made the full hood go all the way with the front of it here, all the way down, the machine would have a bit different look, be a little bit heavier, but I think it would, give the operator a better visual of the front of the machine. Yeah, guys, if you're interested in seeing this machine against a bunch of other machines, the XE1100, if Scott's willing to do that, I'm willing to do it. He did email me back saying that he's busy for the next little bit, as am I. So when he's not busy and I'm not busy, we want to get together, have a few beers, chat, talk about a few things. And he also did say that he's working with another company that sells mini excavators. So he did say that if I wanted to try out one of those, demo one of those, make a few videos about those, I could also do that. So yeah, I mean, as of right now, I would love to try some mini X's out. But I'm still on the quest to, test this baby out more. Put it through its limits and see, I feel pretty confident that this machine will hold its weight with any machine on the market in its category. So, I mean, let me know what you guys think. Do you guys think this thing, holds its own against, the Vermeer, the Bobcat, the Kubota, Ditch Witch, Toro? I think it'll stay with every one of those machines and actually beat them in certain categories. So, and for the price range, there's not one of those machines that's even in the ballpark of this one. But yeah, guys, as always, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.